What's good, everybody, and today I'm going to show you how you can play with the 2025 to 2026 season NBA G League rosters. Some things to note. For one, most and foremost, I am on PS5. I do not know if this is the same for Xbox. This is only my second year doing it. So for whatever reason you still have NBA 2k25 and are looking to do this, I do have a video for last year's game as well. I'm going to walk you through everything, the roster, the setup for everything you need to know is going to be in this video. First and foremost, as you can see, I am on the main screen when you first load up the game, okay? You load up the game, this is the first thing you're going to see. So for me, it might be a little different, and I'll explain why. But first and foremost, you want to go over to MyNBA. Enter MyNBA. For this, I am going... Oh, I already have a slot open. Nice. So obviously, create a new save. As you can see, I have number 7 open, so I'm going to put it number 7. You have to do Modern Era. Make sure you do Modern Era. This is the only way that I know it works, and I don't know why you would want to put an other era unless you were doing an experiment. But nonetheless, the Modern Era, the current era, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to skip all of this. Now, these settings are super, super important, so pay attention. First things first, setup options. You see the little yellow square on it. Options list. You want to hit triangle. First and foremost, you have to have custom roster on. That is a must. Otherwise, you won't be able to do this. You gotta make sure that is on first and foremost. Fantasy draft, if you want to have fun with it, absolutely you can do that. But for this quote-unquote experiment, we're going to try to make it as realistic as possible. Therefore, we are not going to enable fantasy draft. Customize league rules. I don't know if that matters or anything, so you feel free to do that. Customize league, I would turn on, because enabling this option will allow you to change your league's teams and rosters during the setup flow. Turn that on. So custom roster, custom league. Custom salary cap, I'm not going to mess with. Custom simple settings and advanced, I just enabled just in case. I don't know for sure if this matters or not, so you might want to play around with it. But as a precaution, I would turn these two on. But the two most important is custom roster and custom league. Once you have those selected, you can hit back. I would check all of these, everything else. All of this is good. This is good. Everything else is cool. I don't want this to be an online league. But start today, or start from personal preference. Whatever you want to do is up to you. No right or wrong answer. For now, I'm just going to leave it at regular season at default. And everything else is going to remain the same. Alright, so once we have all of that, we're going to hit advance. Now, this is the part that's going to look a little bit different for y'all. So first and foremost, we want to select user created roster. Load in. Now, this is the most downloaded, but because this is my file, I'm going to be downloading it a little differently. So for me, I will go to my files. But as you can see, I already have it updated, or uploaded. So you'll want to search for this name, 2526 G League, and the online ID of Brick3BC. It is on screen here. Once you find it, just go ahead and hit X to download it, which in this case, I am not going to download it because I already have it. Therefore, I canceled the download. So for me, you'll want to download it, but for this video purpose, I already have the file. I do not need to download it. So make sure you download it and whatever. It's the same roster. So all of this is perfectly fine. You don't need to mess with any of this, conferences and whatnot. If you want to, be my guest. No need. You're going to advance. Now, autosave, absolutely keep this on. Season length, 58. It's the closest to what the actual G League is. You could go 82 if you would like, but if you want to be realistic, I would go 58. Quarter length, I believe, is 12 minutes. I believe you might. I think so. You might have to Google that, but I'm pretty sure it is 12 minutes. So put that as quarter length and simulated. All of this off. Prospects off. Now for setup, I like to do the real setup is best of 1 for everything. So you can go ahead and do best of 1 if you prefer to make it realistic. Otherwise, if you want, I like to do best of 3 for first round, best of 5 for quarters, conference finals, and NBA finals. I like to do best of 7. But because we're going to be realistic, everything is going to be one single game. Alright? Not too bad. Really easy on the setup. This I don't mess with. Any of this I do not mess with. Features. Now here, GLeague. The only reason I would have this on is if you want to basically not have a player be part of the team. You are playing as the GLeague, so turn this off. There's no need to have it on. And if it causes issues for whatever reason, we should be able to go back and turn this feature on if need be. Everything else, I believe, I leave alone, and whatever it is. Contracts and stuff like that, I don't mess with either. All this stuff is whatever the game has it set to. Same with trades, you can go ahead and do this. Recently traded and sign restriction, you could turn off if you would like to, but that is totally up to you. You can play with on or off, your choice. Really all this, I think, is your choice. Yeah, like trade approval, I don't know why you have that on. All of this, I think you can just, do with what you will. Injuries, of course, I would have on. There are no roster injuries that I know of. Unless for some reason 2K has them themselves, which I can think of a couple different players. I would say stick with it off, but you can turn it on too if you want to go that route. Progression, don't mess with, none of that. Gameplay difficulty, you let it go to whatever you prefer, and then everything else is good to go. Oh, team automation settings. You want to be able to control all your teams, and you'll see why. All that is good to go. Now that we got all that out the way, we can advance. Now, when you get to this screen, as you can see, these guys are on the Philadelphia 76ers. You're going to be asking yourself, why is that? Because I put the G League rosters onto the NBA teams. So, for example, for everybody who's a current Philadelphia 76er, I removed completely from the roster. They're not on their teams, they're not free agency, they're off the roster. And there's a reason for that as we go into that step now. Other thing to note, I know the Cavs is a good example for this. For example, Chris Livingston has a 2-way contract. In this game, for some reason, unless that player is created, you cannot mess with contracts. So because Chris Livingston is already in the game by 2K, and he's model and was scanned in the game, I cannot mess with his contract. Therefore, he does not have a 2-way contract. I absolutely hate it, and I am not happy about it, but that's just how it has to be, because that's what I can do. But, anyways, you want to select all your teams. Triangle. Once you have that, advance. As you advance for draft classes and stuff like that, auto-generate if you want to load it, whatever you want to do. For right now, I'm just going to go auto-generated, just so I can show you. So right now, I'm controlling the 76ers. Your little MyNBA menu by hitting circle, front office, team relocation, 2K shared team designs. And then you want to download team designs, and then that'll take you to this. So for this, we're gonna search up the Sixers G League team. I will leave that in the comments for you guys, but I know this off the top of my head. It is the Delaware Bluecoats. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna search in Bluecoats and find one that works as we search here. And all of this does not. This is Duke, Creighton. So we'll go to the next page. R1. Still not seeing it. There they are, right here. Is this? I hope this is the same user. It is. The creator Breezier Home. Bookmark this creator. It will make this so much easier going through this and whatnot. So I highly, highly recommend bookmarking this creator. So I'm going to do that first. And as you can see, it popped up in a little tab. So I'm going to download his Delaware Bluecoats. It gives you the logos, uniforms, courts. I don't think all the arenas are completely accurate. But again, I'm not the one that made it. Anyways, we're going to download it. Let all that save. Assuming it saves, which it should. And you're going to want to do this for every single team. The first time that you do it, it might take a few moments for it to save. Be patient. Don't click anything. See? Now, boom. We go in, look at my roster. That's not what I wanted. Boom. Now we're the Delaware Bluecoats. Another thing to mention, when you first load it in to MyNBA, there isn't enough players to make a roster. The GLeague requirements for how many roster spots are a few less than the NBA. So the CPU will automatically autofill your roster. Therefore, like this guy, Lacey James, he is a real player. I think he's still in the G League, but he's on this team because the CPU had to autofill rosters. Keep that in mind. Alright, so like Pippen and Starkey, for example, they are not actually on the team. They were autofilled by the CPU. And if you really if it really makes a difference, you can just release them. Alright? Cool. So, now here, like the Milwaukee Bucks, same thing. Options, settings. Nope, I lied. It's front office. Team relocation. 2K share team designs. Do it again. Now, because I favored that creator, we can hit R2 one time, R2 two times. It will take me right to that creator and gives you all the uniforms that this creator has. So you just gotta find whatever team that you need. And for this, it's the Wisconsin Herd. So I'm gonna pick that, use this image, and let it apply. I'm gonna do this one more time because there's gonna be a message that pops up on your screen. And I don't want you to freak out and not know what to do with it. So when we get to that screen, I will show you that step. Now, I'm going to do this for the Cavaliers. But this is why I went more than just the blue coat. Because you're going to get this message. You have reached the limit of user-edited teams. You can restore a previously edited team or enable online storage. Enabling online storage will allow you to edit your entire league, but requires you a connection to the 2K Sports server to load this save. Make sure the servers are working. Make sure you got good internet connection. And you want to enable this. If you don't enable this, then you can't do it for every single team. So make sure you do that. So now that I did that, I can go in and download the team that I need and thing I want to show you. So obviously you want to do it for the Celtics and all that. The LA Clippers. This one's unique to this team. Their G League team is in San Diego, not LA. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our front office. We want to go to team relocation. But before we download anything, we want to go to choose city. We are relocating from Los Angeles to San Diego if they have it. Boom. So you want to put them in San Diego first. So we're going to select San Diego on the map. And then you can just choose downtown. I don't know why you would want to put it in the suburbs. So we're going to go to downtown. Are you sure you want to move to this city? Yes. So now, as you can see in the top right, we are no longer the Los Angeles Clippers. We are now the San Diego Clippers. Once you do that, you can go back and find and import their team designs like I showed you with the past couple teams. like this. Boom. Just like that. So you go through and do this for every single team. That's why you chose to select every single team. Now, we're getting close to the end here. Big thing I want to emphasize here is contracts and stuff like that. They're all on 1-year contracts and stuff like that. Free agency. Some of these are going to be real players. Some of these guys are going to be guys that were on the roster that were removed for whatever reason. So, are these actual free agents? Okay. That's a thing too. I don't understand why, like, a guy like KJ Simpson wants almost 40 mil. If you know how to do that and kind of mess with contracts and stuff like that, go ahead. But, like, he's asking for an expected 50 million plus. But then there's a guy like Shakur Daniel who wants 6 mil. I don't know why that is. I haven't figured that out. It might be a simple setting. But they're either real players, like Quentin Jackson. I don't know if Earl is here. Moral of the story is, I tried to keep free agency as realistic as possible with either guys that are on the Mexico City team. I do not have that team included. Why? This is what makes me a little frustrated. Tristan and Sharif Cooper are current two-ways for the Wizards. I don't know why the CPU released them. I don't know, okay? That's the CPU being stupid. But other than that, once you have everything set up to the way that you want and should be, you want to go back to options, you'll go to settings, team selection, hit triangle to deselect everything, and then you're going to select the team that you want to control. So just for an example, I want the Wisconsin Herd, so I'm going to select them. Once you do that, then you are only controlling this team that you selected. So now, you can go through and control everything. Like, boom, here's the roster, your rotation. You can go in now and you can play with every single game like they are the G League. And I think, yeah, so because I turned the G League off, that's not a thing anymore. But I think if you'd have it on and you have, like, one of these off days or, like, practice days, then you can, like, view today's G League. You can play G League games, like, what 2K has official, but you can't control the rosters, you can't control the rotations, you can't trade nothing. You can only play those games. You have no control over anything else. By importing it to here and being able to do it this way allows you pretty much full control as you would be if you were just playing the mode normally. So that's why I put them on their NBA teams, so that we could rebrand them into the G League teams, and it would just be like you are playing with the actual G League. So, outside of that, there was one player, I'll see if he's still on the roster, that name is spelled incorrectly. That was on purpose. I believe he's right here. His last name is supposed to be O'Connell. No matter what variation you do, for some reason 2K flags it as being inappropriate, so his name is spelled incorrectly, because that's the only way I could get it in. I'll even show you. You can go in, you can edit him, vitals, last name. No. There. Name contains inappropriate language that cannot be used. That is everything that you need to know on how to play the NBA G League. Keep your eye on the rosters. I don't know if you want to do this every time the roster is updated or anything like that, but I will be updating rosters through the season, so any trades and stuff like that will be on the roster. So like any trades that happen that include players, I will make note of that in when I re-upload the roster. Just keep an eye out on the little message and stuff like that. It'll tell you what I did in the latest update. So these updates are very up to date as I possibly can get if I have the time to do so. But if you have any questions and stuff like that, feel free to leave them in the comments. Like I said, I will put every G League team down below in the comments, so you don't have to go searching crazy for any of them and whatnot. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this little mini project I did for y'all. Always have fun, and I really hope you do, because not a lot of people do the G League and stuff like that. So it took a lot of hours to do. It took like 2.5, 3 days to do as a whole. The setup is real easy to do. So knock yourselves out. But hopefully this video helps you guys, and I will catch y'all in a new one. Peace.